Hi, this is Nick at Atlantic Laser Scanning. Today we're going to show you a project that is a scan of a series of rooftops. A lot of people have questioned, do we need to have sphere targets? Do we need to use checkerboard targets? Uh, this is a good example of how to register a rooftop set of scans that have some different architecture and geometry to them, and how the scene software is going to put all this together without any targets. So to begin, because we're not using any targets, we can go straight to our registration panel. This has been imported off the SD card and the scans have been saved. So what we've got is a single cluster here, and we're going to choose to perform an automatic registration. Now, it's going to bring up this page that you're all familiar with. If you're not, this is our pre-registration page where we're going to choose the type of registration we do. There seems to be a lot on here, but truthfully, there really isn't, because we're just going to go over here to the left, and the method of registration is what we're looking at. The default method of registration is top view and cloud to cloud. To define that, for those who don't know, the initial registration for the auto registration and scene is going to be top view. It's going to take your scan project, look at it from the top. It's going to rotate scans 1 and 2, look for geography, corners, walls, furniture, whatnot, and try to match up the geometry from scan 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then put the entire project together in that way. Then secondly, it's going to move to cloud. So while you've got a scan project that's most likely put together, it will then go through and look for common XYZ points and tighten up that registration and give you, instead of a 5 millimeter accuracy, it might drop that down to 1 or 2 or 3. Now you've got options here. You see top view, you've got cloud to cloud, both in an individual as well as target based. But because we're going to start off with a project and try our initial registration, we're going to do the top view and cloud to cloud. Once again, when you're coming back to going to cloud as your secondary form, if for some reason the top view did not put the registration together, cloud to cloud will actually help and maybe pop a scan in that was an outlier because some of the geometry just didn't look right. So anyway, it's the most comprehensive way for the scene to automatically put a project together, and we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that. Now, as you go through, you see the rest of these options. These aren't something that you really need to be too concerned with. There's times that you need to go in and change your subsampling, but for the most part, these are things that you should just leave in the default mode. We'll go up to register and verify in the top right-hand corner, and we'll let it cook. Now it looks as though our registration came out good. We've got what looks to be just one cluster here. And they seem to have dropped in all the right places. We will say yes, go to finish, and take a look at Explore. We've got to make sure that our scans are all loaded so we get a good complete view of what we've scanned here. If they are loaded, once they are loaded, we can take a look if everything's good. If you do not need any color at that point, you can create a project point cloud. If you can also, put your color in if you do need color. I always recommend doing that before the project point cloud. But I don't recommend having project point cloud created during the registration process. If you've got an outlier scan or a couple of clusters created, you're going to want to fix that before you get into the project point cloud creation. So as you can see, we've got multiple rooftops. We've got a lot of geography here. This is a nice example of, maybe a more more interesting rooftop scan. It's not just one big flat top rooftop like over here might be, but as you can see, because we've got some fairly unique things going on with the ladder and the an air conditioning cover and things like that, very easy for Scene to go ahead and register, even if it was just this one flat rooftop here. But because there was a good job by the scan tech in we've got positions and some really nice locations here. You can see the previous scan location from each scan location, so you get nice redundancy. We can see that here much better if we go into a correspondence view. You can see the different colors per scan to see how nice a job was done here on really the cover of the project here. You can see where there was really nice job with the project capturing the data and overlapping from the previous location. I hope that gives you an idea of maybe a project you're looking to do, if it's something that you want to start dragging around sphere targets, or by looking at this, maybe you understand that it's just not going to be necessary, because when you've got a lot of geography around what you're scanning, Scene software does an excellent job of putting it together without having the targets. Thank you and good luck.